San Francisco 49ers 2022 roster grades. And as always, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Fun NFL. Hope like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy. Matt Corral long term with torn ligament in foot. That's not good. Yeah, Matt Corral's not playing. Like whatever, but yeah, he won't play this year. Oh shoot. Logan Bruss, third round pick, tore his ACL. That's not good for the Rams. He's third round pick. That's not good. Yeah, the Bills absolutely crapped on the Broncos. We already saw that in the other video. Whatever. What is it called? The Lions won 27-26. Bills blew out the Broncos 42-15. Kansas City's beating Washington 17-7. We can look at the Gamecast. Mahomes 162, 2 touchdowns. Taylor Heineke has a touchdown. Yeah, Mahomes was actually pretty good. How many? He had 12-19. We can actually go even more in depth. Yeah, he looked good. But then we look at, I don't think Mahomes should play in preseason, but he does, which isn't a problem. Then, of course, Tampa, Tennessee, 7 o'clock on NFL Network. NFL Network preseason, Saturday special quadruple header, Game 3. Game 4 is Dallas against Los Angeles Chargers versus the Cowboys. Raiders and Dolphins, 7 o'clock. San Francisco and Minnesota, 7 o'clock. Pittsburgh and Jacksonville, 7 o'clock. Those are your games. Let's get into the video, though. Okay, guys, let's go. As always, starting with quarterback Trey Lance. He played some games last year. Of course, Jimmy Garoppolo will get traded or cut, whatever. He's not going to be on the team starting this season. Even if he is, he's not going to start, obviously. So, we'll forget about Jimmy Garoppolo. Nate Sudfeld, bad backup. I'm just going to put that out there. He's not a good quarterback. Brock Purdy, I like Brock Purdy actually a lot. He has decent mobility. His arm strength is just not there. That's why he was Mr. Irrelevant. But other than that, he's been able to win some games, and he's pretty accurate. But last year, 1-1 in 2 starts, 41-71, 57.7 completion, not great. 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 76-yard long. He had a lot of good completions. And then we look at adjusted yards per attempt index, 128. League average is 120, or 100, my bad. Pretty decent. Interception percent plus, 88, not great. Sack percentage plus, 106, decent. Rating, 107, 100, of course, average. But overall, pretty good stats for a rookie. He ran the ball really well, too. I do think he needs to be more efficient, though, throwing the football, and he's, obviously, physically, he's a freak. That's why he was third overall pick. But his anticipation's really good. I just think he needs to be a little more, less erratic, and, if he can calm down, I think he can be a good quarterback. Right now, he's about, just about an average guy. Okay, that's your grade. Okay, his grade's going to be a C, flat, not that, C. Here's why. I think he's going to be an average quarterback this year, dead average. But not only that, though, he didn't play great last year. He played well, but he didn't play great. And we don't really know yet, obviously, because he didn't play the full season. That's why I kind of have to give him a C, too. It's a mix of NA, not assessed, or not applicable. That, and it's just the fact that I think he'll be average. And he probably is average right now. So, 15, 17.67 out of 30. There you go. He just needs to be decent. Running back position now. Okay, first off, all these guys can run block. Pass block. Elijah Mitchell especially. 963 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 207 carries, 4.7 yards per carry. He did have some injury issues a little bit last year, but when he was on the ground, he was a beast, an absolute beast. It seems like they always have a good running back. The 49ers always have a really good running back. It's how it works with their scheme. It works every single year. Jeff Wilson Jr., red zone maniac. He can actually catch the ball as well. Wasn't very efficient last year, but in 2020 he was really good. Jeff Wilson's a great backup. They got Trey Sermon as well. Trey Sermon really struggled to stay healthy, and even when he was on the field, kind of a disappointment. We thought he was going to be really good, but wasn't really. So, yeah, Trey Sermon, I wouldn't say he's bad. Still has a chance, but not really. Not really right now. But Tyron Davis Pierce, this dude is literally a bona fide speed and speed. This is literally speed. Like you saw, he's speed. But on that, he can he displays some power. Of course, not the biggest dude in the world, but yes, he is 219. So yeah, like man, he's not that small, but whatever. Tyron Davis-Pierce, look for him to get some carries. That's basically a running back by committee, but Elijah Mitchell is the main guy. B Farrell, I'll give him like a B+. Honestly, I'm just going to give him a B+. Because they're going to run the ball really well. They're all going to be really, really good running backs, but you can't really judge how good they are just because of the scheme. And it's still going to be a good backfield because if 2 or 3 of them get hurt, I still do think whatever one's left is going to be good. To have this wide receiver position. Okay, Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel is a monster, but it was 1 year. And before that, he really struggled to stay on the field. He had a lot of touches last year. We'll get into that right now. He had 136 touches, which is, you might not think it's a lot, but it is. It's a lot for a receiver. He's not a running back. He's a receiver. Remember that. He did have 365 yards and 8 touchdowns on the ground, though. 49 was his long. That's kind of crazy. 77 catches, 1,405 yards, 18.2 yards per reception. Pretty crazy. 6 touchdowns through the air. Never really been that good of a red zone threat. Really not been that great of a receiver. But the fact that he's so good after catch, he's just so good at breaking tackles, so good as a runner. He's literally a running back and receiver in a way. And he's able to somewhat run routes, and like he's like decent release, decent all that. With that, and you get the fact that he's such a good physically running back, and he's got really good hands. That makes Deebo Samuel a really good receiver. Brandon Ayuk, really big disappointment last year, obviously, but considering all of that throughout the season, he had a good yard per catch. He was able to get downfield. Like his average depth of target was actually pretty high. Like his average depth of target was actually pretty high. Where is it? Yeah, 9.8, which is literally basically the first down marker, which tells you this dude catches the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. He's really good at intermediate stuff. I don't know if his deep route running is ever going to be great or he's ever going to be that explosive, but his intermediate route running was really good last year, really promising. But other than that, not great. Juwan Jennings, literally a slot, like that's what he was last year. Really good as well, clutch as well. In the slot in the red zone, he was really good. See if he can do it again this year. Ray McLeod, kind of not really a receiver, but he still made some plays, I guess. That's all I have to really say about Ray McLeod. Danny Gray. Danny Gray, of course, a 5th, 3rd round pick out of SMU. This guy can run the ball as well. But not only that, though, this dude can get deep. Like, he's got some serious speed. Malik Turner. I think Malik Turner's very overrated in terms of, like, what he did last year for, who the heck was it? Was it the 49ers? Why do I not think he played for the 49ers? He didn't really play for Dallas. Yeah, he's a little overrated. Let me put it that way. People don't think he's really good. He's not. Marcus Johnson, Willie Snead, both bombs. Yeah, that's kind of his receiving core. Okay, the depth is not good, but yeah, that's the one concerning thing. With the depth not being good, can't give him anything. I can't give him a B+ because I guarantee at one point in the season, one of those guys is gonna get hurt. I'm just saying, it's gonna happen. And the fact they got 3 receivers, I'm confident. Maybe Ray McLeod, that's like a 3rd guy, but other a 4th guy, and Danny Gray as well. But that's literally it. They have 5 guys, and Ray McLeod is not a good receiver. He's just not. So that comes out to 3.67 plus 12, 15.67 plus 20. Time this tight end position, which it's something. I'm gonna like restart this. Okay, now we're good. Kyle Juszczyk, I want to mention this first. He's the best fullback in the NFL. Even last year, didn't he get like hurt? I think he got hurt, and he did have a little bit of a down year last year, but he's obviously still the best fullback in the NFL. George Kittle, monster, 2nd best tight end in the NFL. You could even argue first. When he's on the field, elite receiving tight end, even better blocker. Tyler Kroft, not a bad backup whatsoever because he can't catch the ball. He's a decent run blocker, but really good possession receiver, has really good route running, really good technically. I think Tyler Kroft's a good receiver, but he's definitely a backup and will not get deep. Charlie Warner, 6th round pick out of Georgia, really hasn't gotten much playing time, but for sure he will this year. I guarantee he'll get a lot of run blocking, and he's a really good run blocker. Ross Willie, literally just a run blocker. He struggles mightily with catching footballs. Like he just can't catch many footballs. If you can't catch a football, it's kind of hard to be a good tight end. That's just the truth about it. A+? Like what? Like how do I not give him an A+? It's George Kittle. Okay, now let's get to this offensive line. That's really interesting. Like, really interesting. Okay, this offensive line. Trent Williams is the best offensive lineman in the NFL. I think being PFF's best player last year tells you something. Like, I mean, 97.8. That's absolutely absurd. But Colin Mavakits behind him, not bad. I think he actually played decent last year as a guard. He had to play guard, and he's definitely more of a pass protecting guy, and he definitely got the job done. Aaron Banks, really, as a second-round pick out of Notre Dame, run blocking force, needs to be so much better in pass protection this year. If he can just slightly improve, they've got a thing there. Jason Poe, you do not want him as your backup. For Mercer, really struggled last year, But considering what the measurables he had at the Combine, UDFA, and the fact that the year before he was an absolute beast, just tells you what potential he has. Jake Brendel, again, another guy we don't know much about. Of course, he was at UCLA. I don't even know if Jake Brendel's actually played. I think he's fighting with, who is it? Because, Alex Mack left. Daniel Brunskill for the starting job, but Daniel Brunskill's hurt. He might actually start. Brunskill might start. But, yeah, last year, he didn't play at all last year. The year before, he didn't. Yeah, he hasn't played at all, like, literally at all. Well, 2018 played, he was pretty bad. But, Jake Brendel, he's actually kind of athletic, but sneaky athleticism. But he really has really good range and is really more of a lead blocker. Even at the center position, he's really has really good agility and his power is there as well. But he's just not really technically there yet, even in the 6th season. But Daniel Brunskill might get to start there. Of course, more established on the team. Really good run blocker, just can't consistently pass block. That's probably why he might not start. But then you got Spencer Burford, 4th-round pick for a reason at UTSA. He was UTSA's what was it? I won't say top prospect, but yeah, he was their top prospect. I'll put it that way. He's literally probably the reason that the running game worked because the scheme was literally around him. It was literally like they had this one play. I think it led the FBS in yardage out of any play. It was like what is it called? I don't even know. It was like a half-back toss. I'll call it that. But basically, you had the wide receiver come in motion from the left. I think it was like the Z receiver, and then this X receiver, and then you have him kick out as it got pitched to the left. He came around the tackle, and then he just absolutely obliterated guys. Spencer Burford's really good. Keaton Sutherland, I guess he's okay as a backup, but he really hasn't done much. Mike McGlinchey, solid guy. He's really struggled with injury, but when he's been on the field, he's been decent. Jalen Moore, not the guy you want starting, but doesn't hurt to have him as a backup. Yeah, he got hurt with a leg injury. That's not great. Okay, this offensive line is crazy because you got 2 guys on the edge that are going to be good, and their backups are good as well. And then you got, like, Spencer Burford, and that's kind of it. And Daniel Brunskill, who might start as well. But it's a really wild and inexperienced, kind of like just questionable offensive line. I'll give him a B- just to look at Trent Williams, who's so good. But that's one position on the offensive line. I don't know what the heck. This is a really weird offensive line. But I think it's going to be weird. It's going to end up good. It's going to be a mess the first couple weeks. I'll just put it out there. Their offensive line is going to be a mess. But if they can sort out in preseason and see what they've got, I think I can give them a B- for sure. I've heard good things. I've watched the guys on film mostly. So we'll see what they can do. 3.33 plus 8 is 11.33 out of 15. I don't think it's a little bit of a mess, I'll be honest there, but who knows. Time for this overall offensive grade and average. Okay, this offense comes out to 76 out of 100 for the points. The average is B. I think that's what it comes out to. The range is for roster grade is B, is C+. It's a B offense, though. Their running game is going to be probably top. Honestly, other than the Ravens and the Browns, I don't know if there's going to be a better rushing offense. I honestly would say the Ravens will have the best, and then probably the 49ers. But the Browns is just for the fact they might not have a passing game for the first 11 games, unless they get Jimmy Garoppolo, which will probably happen. But yeah, this offense is good. I don't think the pass game's going to be consistent whatsoever, though. Trey Lance is going to have trouble. He really didn't have that many good throws last year. Like, good throws. Like, I hit the guy in stride, or I made the right throw where it was. But it works. I think it'll work out. But the passing offense going to be about league average. Rushing offense going to be elite. Comes out to like a B. Time for this linebacking core. Of course, this defense runs a 4-3, so let's get right into it. Dre Greenlaw. Dre Greenlaw's a good player. He didn't play really at all last year, but I'll tell you what, Dre Greenlaw in 2020 really got the job done, and even bigger in 2019, he had a really good year. He's never been that much of a good in pass coverage. But look at 2019, not really good. 2020, not really that good. 2021, a little bit of a difference, but never really given up touchdown, but pretty good in the red zone. But he gets beat over the top consistently. I'll tell you that much. Not really that big of a run guy of pass coverage, but when it comes to run defense, and especially tackling, there's not really more sure-handed guys in the league, it seems, than Dre Greenlaw. But of course, he's not the most athletic guy. That kind of hinders him, and of course, he's had some issues in the past with pass coverage. Of course, that's why his PFF grade was lower. But in 2021, it seemed he got a fix in the limited snaps. And then, of course, you have Oren Burks behind him. Oren Burks, filling in for him, was actually legitimately decent. Again, not great in pass coverage. And as a will linebacker, will linebacker, you need a guy who, I honestly think, because sub linebacker is a guy that makes plays. Will linebacker, you think, will linebacker is the playmaking guy. It's really shifted to the sub linebacker at this point. But yeah, Dre Greenlaw is good, but like Oren Burks, like, he actually filled up. In Green Bay, he actually played well last year, but say we want the PFF grade, he got the job done. And in 2020, terrible in the limited snaps again. But backing up Dre Greenlaw, who might get hurt, not bad. Fred Warner, I'd say he's second best linebacker, if not the best linebacker in football. Middle linebacker, my bad. Elite in pass coverage, wasn't so elite at times last year, but that's his bread and butter. And of course, not the greatest tackler, but he gets it done. Like 5.3, 7.4. He was, of course, elite in 2020. He was first team All-Pro for a reason. He was like legit. But 79% last year, not good. And he gave up 3 touchdowns as well, but didn't get beat really much over the top though. That's the good news. And he, like I said, not the greatest tackler. He's a good tackler, just not great. About average. Made 137 total tackles though. That tells you something as well. All around the field. Fred Warner gets the job done, especially in the pass coverage. PFF grade, decent, but 2020, ridiculous. Then we go to his backup, Curtis Robinson. Why do I think he got drafted last year? He got drafted second season, actually, UDFA. He played well last year in preseason. I didn't really get to watch much of him in the regular season, though. He'll really need to get better in his pass coverage, though. The reason he was a UDFA in 2020 was literally because he just could not cover whatsoever in the Senior Bowl. So, not the Senior Bowl. 2021. Yeah, he just could not cover. That's why. Azeez Al-Shire, literally a playmaker. Like, he makes so many plays. Like, just turnover machine. But other than that, like, cool block. Demetric Flanagan fouls, really good as well. Like, he made plays as well. Maybe not, like, big hits, TFLs. That's his thing. They've got a really good linebacking core. I give this an A because at their best, they are the best linebacking core in football. Those 3 guys, they all do their jobs extremely well, but not only that, their backups can get the job done as well, pretty well as well. So we get that to 4.67 plus 19.67 out of 20, really good, times this defensive line. Okay, first, not get super into attachments, but Javon Kinlaw, he needs to be good this year. Didn't play at all really last year, and in 2020 had a lot to be desired. It was supposed to kind of fill in for Forrest Buckner. I think this year he actually breaks out. Eric Armstead moved to the middle. This dude's so versatile. He is consistent with getting after quarterback, consistent with tackling guys for loss. Really just a consistent overall good player. Like so you think of the guy who is very versatile, gets the job done at any position he needs to. He's even better than that. Like he's good at every position he needs to. Of course, he's not going to be 15 sacks, but he'll get 10 consistently. Kevin Givens. Kevin Givens is big. Yeah, he plays big. My bad. He's 285, a little undersized, but this guy plays big. Like he just really big hands, really strong. He gets the job done. Hassan Ridgeway. This dude, you gotta watch out for him. He's been in the league a little while. He's absolutely murdered some running backs. You need a guy on the goal line. That's Hassan Ridgeway for you. Of course, Nick Bosa, superstar. Like, he's ridiculous. Really, really good. Samson Ebukam, a good compliment to him. Of course, we'll get to the pass rush in a second, but Samson Ebukam, good compliment. Again, he doesn't get off quarterback consistently, but if you get some pressure on him, he'll finish. Drake Jackson, of course, out of USC, second round pick this season. really explosive off the line. And not only that, though, he can really get the running back to the ground. Charles Nwenu, where is it? Was it 2020? I think it was 2020. I think that was his season where he actually got like playing time. Charles Nwenu, yeah, what I say? In 2020, he actually got playing time. But he's a good player. Don't know if he'll really get that much playing time this year in terms of like a ton of sack opportunities, but he's definitely gonna be that guy. Kerry Hyder Jr. I like Kerry Hyder Jr. a lot. He's like he gets to the quarterback when he needs to. Really consistent in terms of that. I'll give this defensive line an A. No, I'll give it an A-. They've got 3 guys, and Javon Kinlaw maybe isn't that yet. They have Eric Armstead and Nick Bosa. That's kind of it for the moment. It's not as good as it was before, so that return him an A-, but obviously still really, really good. But if they can, if they can be like they were in 2019, those guys can step up. I'd say they have an A+ defensive line. Time for this pass rush stuff. Okay, of course. This pass rush has always been one of the most consistent in the NFL. But Nick Bosa, he's their number 1. He's elite. Top 5 pass rusher. I put him at 3 or 4. No, yeah, like 4. Yeah, I got like 4. Nick Bosa is really, really good. Samson Ebicam, like I said, really good compliment. The one problem I have with him is not the most consistent. He gets the quarterback though, which is huge. Especially, he's definitely a finesse pass rusher. He has really quick hands. Sometimes though, if an offensive lineman is really able to get to him and he can't use that, he really struggles. Drake Jackson, again, he's another finesse passer, but he's so explosive off the line. You got to get off the line quick as well. And if you give him the inside, he'll actually take it. Some of these pass rushers only like going to the outside because that's their strong hand, or somewhere where they're more comfortable. He can go inside and outside, which is huge. Terrell Manu, same thing, except the fact is he is not going to help you in terms of being one-on-one. He needs help. Like, if let's say Nick Bosa is right next to him and Nick Bosa beats someone, or Nick Bosa's getting doubled, give him a one-on-one situation or somewhere where he isn't he goes up against favorable matchup. He's not going to win it every single time. That's the thing with him. But Charles Owen is pretty good. Kerry Hyder Jr., like I said, he gets to the quarterback. Big guy. Gets to the quarterback when he needs to. He's really, really, really underrated. I think he's a good player. But then that's kind of their pass rush. Of course, Javon Kinlaw, Eric Armstead get the pressure up the middle. They kind of do a lot there as well. It sucks that Maurice Hurst, biceps is supposed on injury reserve, but he could probably come back in mid-season maybe. If he can come back soon, that would be awesome. But this is a really good pass rush. I don't know if I give this pass rush, and I'll give him an A- because if Nick Bosa gets hurt, they're a lot worse. But anyway, they get the job done no matter what. I don't know if they're going to be elite without Nick Bosa, but I think they're going to, if he gets hurt, but they're going to be good. They were good in 2020 as well. Their defense, they were able to stop the run. And not only that, but they've been able to get off quarterback. Doesn't matter what it is, with their defense, it seems like they've been able to get off quarterback really well. Time for this cornerback run, though. Okay, starting out with Emmanuel Mosley. Starting for another year. Emmanuel Mosley, good on the outside. Really a zone guy, though. You can't really put him on the island. There's a reason that people don't really talk about him. It's for the fact that he's a good player, but not the best. I can show you stats. And when you watch him on the field, he's very, very fast. You know that. He doesn't really get beat over the top a lot. But his length, his speed don't really align that well. And, yeah, he didn't give a touchdown last year. But he only had 55 targets as well, 56.4%, which is good. He was actually pretty darn good last year. But missed 6 games, injury as well. Got to remember that. Dante Johnson, not a bad backup whatsoever. As a slot, NC State 2014, he's an older dude. But he's a decent vet. You don't want to play over the top. Against some speedy slots, he could struggle. But against the bulkier, I won't say Cooper Kupp, but the slots that might not be the fastest, he dominates. Travarius, and especially, he's really good in press as well. Travarius Ward, decent quarter. Is he great? No, but he's solid. He doesn't get burnt a ton, and he gets the job done. But then, all these guys are hurt as well. Jason Verrett, but that's good that he can get return training camp. Jason Verrett, so much talent. 2020 he was on the field somewhat, and he was really, really good, but doesn't seem like he's on the field. Denor Eleanor, bad. He's bad. If you watch the NFC Championship, that just tells you it. Ambry Thomas, he struggled a lot last year, especially against smaller receivers. Doesn't really have the length or agility to really keep up with him. And his explosiveness is not there. He doesn't have good acceleration either. But he was clutch against the Rams, so that'll always be in the back of my head. Okay, cornerback room C+. They're gonna get burned, I'll tell you that, but they get the job done with that defensive line. They know what they're supposed to do. They kind of get it done, even if they're not the best by any means. The talent isn't always the best, but it gets it done. Time for this safety room. Okay, Talana Hufunga. Yeah, Talona Hufunga, good player. This dude, I'll put it this way. He is a literal strong safety. Nothing more, nothing less. That's what you get with him. Really good over the, actually a decent cover guy if you watched him in college at USC, but that's kind of it with him. I'll be honest there. He covers well. His pass rush, other than that, like, I guess he offers you something with the pass rush, but I guess he offers you something. But as a rookie, yeah, he gave up 2 touchdowns. Like I said, he was good in coverage, though. And, yeah, he missed 11.1 tackles. He's actually kind of more of a strong safety, but a free safety, but he's bigger, and he's just, I don't know what to say. He's a bigger presence. That's more important. He's kind of a safety there. But Tavarius Moore, my bad. This dude is more of a strong safety. So he'll go out there on, like, third down in inches, and he'll, like, stuff the run at the second level. And then, of course, Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward is so underrated. He gets the job done time in and time out. Yeah, he might not be the best player. Yeah, he might not be the most athletic player. Yeah, he might not have the best stats. But in the end, he gets the job done a lot better than you need to. I'll tell you that much. And for that reason, I think he's one of the most underrated players in football. Yeah, he's not the best, and he's a little older, but he gets the job done. George Odom, of course, coming over from Indy. Wait, did he play for Indy? Why do I think he played for Indy? I don't know. He might have. Yeah, he did play for Indianapolis. What am I saying? But yeah, last year he was good, like really good. That was his best season last year. Yeah, I gave him 67.9%, 3 touchdowns, yes, but 87 air yards. He didn't get burned over the top really at all. George Odom, really good tackler as well, and especially you can't really beat him deep as much anymore because of the fact that you gotta realize that this dude can actually cover over the top now. Because in 2018, 2019, that was an issue with Warren. The teams really try to target them there. But he's developed his ball skills, really developing coverage, especially anticipating where the quarterback's going to throw it. Really excels in zone coverage. For that, George Odom, I think, is a good backer free safety. Okay, grading it B. Because that's kind of what it is. Jimmy Ward, B+. He's a above average, well, I wouldn't say well above average. He's an above average free safety. And then, of course, you have Talona Ufunga, who is actually Talona Ufunga, who I think will get the job done and will be a good player. That's kind of all he has to be again. 3.67 plus 12, 15.67 plus 20. Pretty darn good depth. Now let's get for this overall defensive grade and average. Okay, everything's indicating B+. I think they're better than actually. I'm not even joking. They're like an A-. Can I give them an A? Are they an A defense? They're top 5. Oh. No. I'm not giving them an A. Their depth is really good. Their starters are really good. But I don't know if I don't think their firepower is as good as it was last year. I think they lost a little bit of it because I don't know. Can I give them an A? You know, I'll give them an A. I'll be sucker. They get an A. They have really good defense. Okay, time for special teams. Okay, Robbie Gould, good vet. He struggled a little bit last year with accuracy. Really doesn't have a leg anymore, but in the clutch, he gets it done. Mitch Wisnowski, decent punter, like literally average. Raymond McLeod, really good returner. Tabor Pepper, good long snapper. Overall, really good special teams unit. A for this special teams unit. Oh yeah, Jordan Willis is actually another good guy in that pass rush, but he's literally just a pass rush specialist. Like he comes down on 3rd down. And he's a power rusher too, so it's not as consistent. Whatever. 9.67 out of 10. Almost, almost perfect. Time for this overall team depth grade. Okay, running back depth, A+, I guess. Wide receiver depth, B-. Tight end depth, B. Offensive line depth, C+. Overall offensive depth, C+. Linebacker depth, B+. Defensive line depth, B+. Pass rush depth, B. Cornerback depth, C minus. Safety depth, C minus. Overall defensive depth, B minus. Overall team depth, I'll get a C plus. It's not like anything special, really. I'll be honest with you there. But unless their whole team gets injured, I think they're good. Time for this overall roster grade. Okay, 187 out of 235 comes out to A minus roster. I'll give them a B plus. I'm not comfortable saying they're an A tier roster. There's not many of those around. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if there's an A plus this year either, but they've got a really good roster, obviously. But the special teams is bumping that a little bit, and I don't think it's that like elite of a roster. It's a really good roster. It's just the quarterback is not gonna be great. There's no holes, obviously, but you just gotta wonder, like, what is it called? Where is it? This defense, is it really an A? I'd give them an A because of how good they've been when healthy. So, yeah, B plus is what I'm giving them. That's your roster grade, 49ers fans. Like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed. That's 49ers 22 roster grades. See you in the next video.
Steps into it. Pass is caught.